This is Grabble. During this demo, we're going to show you some of the main functionalities of our website by running through the creation flow of a trip and moving it through its different stages, all the way from creation through finalization. So upon logging in, we get to this upcoming trips page. We can see any past trips that we've done as this user, as well as our upcoming trips that are in different varying stages. We can go ahead and create a trip. I'm going to call this summer 2022, and I'll just give it, we'll put it in early June. Week, and I'm going to invite Jorge. I'm going to go ahead and create the trip. And now we are at the trip landing page.
All right, and so let me share my screen. Since Tyler invited me, I just got an email notification. And if I click here, I am brought to the website and I can just join the trip. Here we are. So now it's up to us to put in some preferences for what we want to get out of this trip. And so I'll go in and start putting some of my preferences. I'll be leaving from Miami, Florida. So I'll put that. Personally, I would want to stay somewhat close to home. Safety, not too important. I am somewhat worried about costs, so I'll put that there. And I'd like to stay somewhere with moderate temperature, moderately important to me. And yeah, so I'll submit my preferences. Now the recommendations are being generated. And here we are. So these are some of the locations that have been recommended to me with different numbers that indicate different properties of these cities. So if I click here, it tells me that each of these numbers go from 0 to 5, and it kind of explains what each one of them means. So I'll stop sharing my screen here.
So now logged in again as me, we can see now the trip has been updated based on the preferences that my fellow traveler has put in, and I can enter some preferences of my own. I'll be coming from a different city. I'll say I'm coming from New York, and I might want to travel very far, but I think I'm just going to leave it as, not very important. In terms of safety, I guess it's somewhat important. I'm going to say that I'm, down to have, a luxurious vacation, but it's, not super important to me, I guess. I would like to go somewhere warm because it's summertime, and this is very important to me. And I think I want to go somewhere that's, pretty well populated as well. So I'm going to put in those preferences, and we should see some updated recommendations here. Okay, so we've got some new recommendations here, which is pretty cool, and our aggregate preferences have been updated as well. I guess if we wanted to, we could invite any additional users to get any last input or add anyone else to the trip, but I think for now we're good. I'm going to move us into the voting phase. So we're no longer going to be able to edit our preferences, but now we can look at the recommendations we have and rank them accordingly from 1 to 5. I think I'm going to put El Paso as number 1. These are a little far. This one would be very expensive for me. I click continue. And now I get a message saying that I'm waiting on my other travelers to vote in the trip.
Okay, and I just got an email saying that we're now in the voting stage. So if we go here, want to start voting. I think personally, Austin sounds pretty cool. El Paso, yeah, all right. Not a fan of Dallas, San Antonio, and I think Havana would be pretty cool as well. So I'll submit my votes. And it seems like El Paso is where we'll be going.
Just to show the last bit of information flow, I, as the other person on this trip, have been notified that everyone has voted and our final destination has been determined. So we have this lovely little countdown here. And they actually have been able to recommend a flight for me based on my initial location, which is pretty cool. All right, well, thanks for coming along on this demo, and that is Gravel.